What's shaking, dude? You're looking jacked, man.
Yeah. So my question is with regards to, the 5 people you surround yourself with.
Yes, sir.
So when I was like 18, 19, I was getting really passionate about entrepreneurship. I would hang out, and I'd always call them like in myself, like in my inner self. I'd say, man, these are just bro dudes. Like they can't think beyond like a beer and then quick sex.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I would try and talk about like, hey, don't you want to like do something great with your lives? Build a company, start a culture, do something pretty great. They would kind of like take it as a dig. It's like, oh, well, I'm just going to work at my shitty job. And like so in sum, I kind of like, it's really hard to find people that are with that same mindset.
It's not actually. It's not, because once you start becoming decisive about who you spend your time with, it makes it easy to spot losers. It makes it easy to spot anchors and sales in your life. You're still young though, right? I mean, from what I remember, you're in your mid-20s, 23, something like that, right? You're still young. So I mean, that skill, that muscle hasn't developed yet. I mean, I'm in my late 40s. Like I can basically look at a video, look at somebody's social feed, click through on their stuff, and within a minute or two, I can tell if they're full of shit, if they're real.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it's very easy, but you'll get better at it with time, and you're going to get burned a couple of times, and you're going to spend way too much time with guys that aren't going to be useful, or that aren't going to be part of your tribe that's going to help you level up. In my book, there's a chapter on hire slow, fire quickly. Did you read that part?
I have not read your book.
Dude, come on. You can't come on here week after week and not support the channel, man. You got to read the content.
Hold on there. I've been reading the other books you recommended, like Shoe Dog and the Amazon Story. I'm finishing up the Amazon. I'll read your book next. I was waiting for you.
Okay. Hire slow, fire fast. And all that really means is you take your time vetting somebody. They need to earn your trust, right? There's a lot of dudes that I've given my trust away very, very quickly to. Oh yeah, this guy seems like a good guy. His intentions are good, especially in the Mano Swamp, right? Oh yeah, this guy's a good guy. His intentions seem good. Boy, was I wrong more than once. So like vet them slowly, right? They want to bring you in. They want to bring you in tight. They want to use your good name. They want to use something. Like people want shit from you. When people want shit from you very quickly, you have to ask yourself why, right? Because really, really successful guys that are serious and have positive intent on doing good for themselves and the world lead with that, right? They lead with something to give, right? So one of the things that I get a lot of is people will like message me and they'll be like, hey, can you mentor me? Or, can I buy you dinner or a coffee and pick your brain, sort of thing. It's like right away they're leading with gimme, right?
But if I'm the one doing that, like to someone that I find interesting, it's like, hey, I would like to buy you dinner. So
okay,
so about how you do things.
Okay, so what you lead with is so I did this back when I was focused on entrepreneurs in cars and interviewing guys and doing stuff like car reviews. And I found some of I basically isolated the top 3 YouTube channels that had the biggest audience with the most views, with the guys that I like the most. And I took a look at their channel. I took a look at their website. I took a look at their social feed. And there was things that I spotted that were sitting in their blind spots that needed to get fixed. Maybe a link was broken. Maybe there was a better way for them to offer something. And then I messaged the guy and I said, hey man, I know you get a lot of messages. Big fan of your work. I see these 2 or 3, potential problems. Here's the solutions to them, with the links. Also, I'd love to, collab with you at some point in the future. I got a response from everybody because I led with, here's me helping you.
Would that be a really good, do you think that would be a strong method? Like I'm doing my own entrepreneurship thing. I'm learning code so I can code my own application. So let's say it's there and I'm like, okay, I have it. What now? I would imagine using that sort of method would be a decent way to help them and then possibly maybe get something in return, maybe publicity in some sort of fashion.
I'm not sure what you mean by the coding stuff because I'm not I'm terrible with that sort of stuff.
I'm creating a business that's an application that serves the financial markets.
Okay.
in order to,
and what you're asking around that.
And I would imagine, would I use that method to, like, let's say, look for broken links at an influencer and then say, okay,
if that's the best angle that that you can find, to work with them, then use that. Like Tim Ferriss in the 4-Hour Workweek talks about how he got involved, Silicon Valley, and he was basically working at a nonprofit, donating his time for free, living at his mom's minivan. Now he's one of the biggest names out there. I think he's got one of the biggest podcasts, definitely, in the top 3 or 5. Like he's up there with Joe Rogan and stuff like that. So you have to lead with giving something to somebody. Like there's just so many guys out there that lead with take, gimme, like you owe me something. It's like, dude, I don't owe you shit. I don't know you. I don't owe you. Right. And that's one of the biggest lessons that guys haven't learned today, because, as a function of society and the trophy, participation trophy generation, and we bubble wrap everybody and parents helicopter them and they can't do anything wrong. Like kids haven't learned, the necessities of this virtue. So the best thing that you can do when it comes to this business project is stay away from the losers. Anybody that's an anchor, find, people that are sales. Is your business throwing off money right now? Like, is it profitable?
No, I am developing it right now. So it's like I've been literally doing it for months. I learned Java, and every single night, like clockwork, I get off work, go to the gym, code till midnight, and then do it all over again. I've been doing that for months.
So when you get to your first revenue events and you're starting to make profit, the first thing that you need to start to do once you've started to make money, people start to say, Lebowski, I like what you do. You offer value. Take my money, right? Once you start to accumulate that and you're looking at your bank balance and it's going up $30,000 a month, $80,000 next month, and you're throwing off all this kind of profit, as soon as you have profit coming in, then you need to reinvest in yourself. And you can buy yourself a seat in better rooms. So you sign up for conferences, you sign up for trade organizations, you look for mentors, and then you buy yourself a position or a seat in that room, or you buy yourself a place in that organization. Like the initiation fee for me to get into Entrepreneurs Org was something like $4,000. And then there's various fees, along the way. And, there was a conference, that you pay $8,000 to go to. There's a friend in the network that runs his own conference, and the ticket for that's $8,000. And you got your flight and your hotel, and all of a sudden, before you know it, maybe you're spending 30 grand a year on personal development. It's all a write-off.
And you would say the point of doing that is to put yourself in a seat with other people that could possibly,
Never forget, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. Sometimes you need to buy admission to better rooms.
All right.
Right. So if you have a business that qualifies for you becoming, like for you, like a guy like you should aim to get into EOA. Like EOA is Entrepreneurs Accelerator Organization. The minimum qualifier from what I remember last was $250,000 a year in annual sales. So as soon as you've got a business that does $250,000 in annual sales, you can sign up, and they give you a free mentor. There's of course cost of admission to get into it. It's probably like $2,500 or something like that. They give you a mentor, which you meet with on a monthly basis with usually 2 other guys. There's quarterly learning events with the big dogs. And then you start to network and you start to learn.
Is it just Canada, or is it like national?
No, it's worldwide, dude. Yeah, wow. It's worldwide. Like there's something like, I don't know, 30,000 members around the world or something like that. It's huge. It's massive. But yeah, that's really how it goes. Now, before you go, we have a question here. Did you ditch the girlfriend yet? Or, more specifically, did you have the threesome?
Yeah. So it is the most difficult thing for me anyways, because like, it's really difficult to get it to be her idea. That's how kind of like.
Well, it's not her idea; it's your idea.
Yeah, it was pretty much my idea, and it's impossible to flip that narrative.
Yeah.
So there was like a perfect opportunity. Like everything didn't have blonde hair, black hair, smoke show still, and she was like hitting on me at the gym, and my girlfriend was just in the corner and just witnessing the entire thing. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Well, her nose is too big," or well, she was wearing Lululemon, and I don't like girls in Lululemon. Like, so there's always going to be like a little.
That's why I told you, dude. You have to let her sort through it and then narrow it down to a couple, and then you get to pick the one.
Yeah, it's that part is. I think she the idea of of sharing is very hard to.
She's either down for it or she's not down for it. Don't force it on her.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. Update me once you got some growth going on, you know, with the business and you got some traction. I want to hear a little bit more about how you're doing later on down the road. All right.
Right on. Oh,
all right.
There's still a long road in terms of building the thing.
You'd be surprised how quickly things start to move once you start getting some traction. The entire purpose of a business, like don't forget this. The fiduciary duty is to return a profit to the shareholder. Okay. But you always have to remember that while that is important, the value has to lead all of that. Because at the end of the day, the customer can fire the CEO. You know, if enough customers get together, they can literally fire a CEO by choosing to spend their money somewhere else, by choosing to spend their money on a better product or a superior product.
So what was the point? To like serve the customer, like the customer's always right sort of deal?
Make a profit. Make sure it's not a hobby, because a lot of dudes like create these businesses and they turn out being hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
You ever watch like Dragon's Den or Shark Tank?
Yeah, I just watched Shark Tank.
Yeah, so you ever see those guys that show up and they're like, I've been running this business for 7 years and it's still not turning a profit and I need to get $250,000 out of you.
Take it behind the shed.
Yeah, and Kevin O'Leary says, fuck that. This is not a business. This is a hobby. Kill it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one, it has to make a profit, and two, value. Make sure the value is big, right? Because that's where the hyper growth comes from. Big value. Big value equals big hyper growth.
Got it.
All right. All right, man. See you soon.
Yeah.
Okay, peace.